We do want to turn now to the crime epidemic plaguing our cities. We should warn you, the video we're about to show you is graphic. Police in Portland responding to a domestic violence call over the weekend. And this is when the situation quickly escalates and turns dangerous. The suspect struggles with officers, pulls a firearm, and tries to shoot them. You can see what happens next.
Hey, you need help? You need help?
Stop it!
Officer, you need help?
Stop it! Let go!
Just, wow.
It is gut-wrenching to watch. The suspect not surrendering, and as soon as he fires the gun at police, a cascade of events clearly follows here. Notably, though, and what we're tracking tonight, many on social media firmly siding with the suspect here, despite the sequence of events. One saying liberals will watch the video and say, would you rather they let him shoot them first? Yes. Yes, I would have. The police probably escalated the situation, and he had every right to fight for his life. Another user announcing a vigil, posting boosting this call for a vigil where the Portland police murdered an individual last night. Shoot them first, every right to fight, murderers. Well, Andy No is an independent journalist. He's been tracking this, and he documents Antifa and anarchists, and he's the author of Unmasked, Inside Antifa's Radical Plan to Destroy Democracy. And Daquan Bruce is the director of Concerned Communities for America, originally also from Chicago. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining us. And where we should note, there were 65 shootings, 5 fatal in Chicago in a weekend marked by multiple mass shootings, including a funeral. It is likely that you did not hear about this. It really didn't make much news. We will have more on that in just a moment. Andy, I do want to first go to you. We are tracking this major problem, shootings of unarmed black men. But in cases like this one, help us understand, is anti-cop sentiment so bad, this bad? How common is it for people to blame the cops first, even when the police get shot at?
That's actually quite common of the reaction you would find in places like Portland and Seattle and other predominantly left-wing or liberal cities in America. And it doesn't come down to just a matter of difference of opinions, whether one agrees or disagrees. The hatred that you see reflected in some of the social media responses also spews out into how the public responds on the street in the form of mass direct actions. And then in turn, city councils will respond to what they think are the wishes of the loud people out protesting. And I can say, as somebody who is from Portland, who's been on the ground reporting on crime now for years, the result is that it's caused violent crime and homicides to surge in Portland because the police are demoralized. They take early retirement. The Portland police right now are at historic low numbers. This is in the context of historic high homicides and killings. And we can point to all the decision-making from city council. After George Floyd died in 2020, when Portland had months of nightly rioting, the city council chose to abolish the gun violence reduction team, which was the unit of the Portland police tasked with responding to shootings, because the city council cited racism, alleged racism. It was baseless. And since then, the city council, the mayor, has continued to disparage its own police department. So retention has been a huge issue, and recruitment is another big issue. So the video, the disturbing video that you just played, just highlights how dangerous it is every night for law enforcement in Portland and other urban areas.
Well, and Daquan, I do want to bring you in here. You know, some people saying that also this video shows just how deep the fissure is and the fallout afterwards, indicating that maybe there's no cooperation between police and the public, at least in Portland and quite likely many other cities. What would you say to that viewpoint? What would you say to that? Oh, I think we may have an audio issue. All right, your mic is muted. Can you try one more time?
Absolutely. Am I on now?
Yep, you're on.
Well, to that, I'll say that, any issue where someone loses their life in these situations is tragic. However, we have a culture and a society that rushes to conclusion before we actually get the true facts about what is taking place and the circumstances before and after the cameras stop rolling in these situations. To take last week, when a young man was taken out by SWAT, after a 6-hour standoff with police, they gave him every opportunity to surrender, but he became a threat to those in the apartment building after he opened fire and almost killed a mom in front of her children with no proper provocation. You had people in the streets rioting and protesting, demanding that these cops be fired and prosecuted for racist acts, when in fact they did what they needed to do to save lives. The current environment, it breeds a reactionary culture that allows us really to claim that someone is guilty before proven innocent. And that's not how it should be at all, especially when it comes to those who are serving our communities and putting their lives on the line each and every day.
I hear you. And Andy, back to you. Portland and many other cities are way down in police staffing. You alluded to this. And given what you've seen, do you blame police for not wanting to do this job anymore? Is this becoming a thankless profession?
It's not only thankless, you can actually end up in jail for the rest of your life. So the woman officer who shot and killed the armed domestic violence suspect, who fired his pistol towards the head of her colleague, well, she's placed on administrative leave as a matter of policy, but the case is also going to be presented to a grand jury for the grand jury to decide if she committed murder or homicide or whatever crimes that the prosecution may choose to bring. And so, I mean, Portland is in a really bad place. Last week, the mayor declared a state of emergency because he doesn't really know how to respond to this historic surge in shootings and homicides. I mean, Portland has had a 200% rate increase in shootings, which outpaced, by the way, other violent urban areas in America. And until 2019, Portland had very relatively low numbers of shooting-related deaths. It just completely spiked from 2020 onwards till now.
It is a complex situation, certainly. We appreciate both of your perspectives tonight. Journalist Andy Ngo and Daquan Bruce of Concerned Communities for America, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And some terrifying